is to protect the businesses of breweries. Those breweries have been good to Lowell, so too can commercial marijuana establishments if given a chance. I would like to make an important note to the City Council. It is of the utmost importance to the City of Lowell that when you vote, hopefully, in favor of commercial marijuana establishments, you must impose an age restriction on sales. This has not been done by other communities and needs to be. As a longtime professional, I see the same patterns over and over again. There's a simple solution. Here's what happens. Minimum age for recreational cannabis use is 21 years of age. There's no minimum age for medical marijuana. Teenagers in high school, 18 and 19, will get a medical marijuana card. Next, they go to the commercial marijuana establishments at lunch and buy marijuana for their friends and back in the high school. News stories ponder on high schoolers managed to hold a cannabis. That's how. You need to enforce a minimum age to purchase marijuana from a commercial marijuana establishment of 21 years of age. No more high schoolers getting marijuana on their lunch break without their parents knowing and being responsible. This plan will make a noticeable difference in keeping marijuana out of the schools. Additionally, I fully support 100% of the state of Michigan's citizens' right of Lowell police officers to consume marijuana if they choose off of duty. I've personally taught several police officers from other departments how to grow safe marijuana. They are out there, but they are scared to come forward too, and they shouldn't be. To conclude my opinion, 3 of my best friends would still be alive if they put down the bottle and picked up a joint. People I know would still be here today if they ate a marijuana cookie instead of a bottle of prescription sleeping pills. My wife's father murdered his mother while frying a pan in a well-published incident because he didn't have safe access to marijuana. My wife will attest any day that the only time her father didn't beat her was when he had safe access to marijuana or was in jail. I know there are suicide attempts in Lowell. I know there are domestic violence and assaults in Lowell. I know about the large number of opiate overdoses in Lowell. Imagine if we could reduce those numbers by even 1 while still profiting. By voting in favor of commercial marijuana establishments, even if you have that power now, right now, all it takes is the courage to vote in favor. This is the moment where you get to choose whether to heal or to hurt. Don't look around at them. You must first look inside of yourself. I put my personal life and the safety of my family out there for the world tonight on public record. I put my deepest feelings out in front of you. I was not afraid to stand up for what was right. I was not afraid to stand up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. Do you have that courage inside of you too? I'm always available for questions by U.S. mail. I would love to assist the City Council members on this cannabis issue in any way I can. Thank you for your time and consideration. Daniel Williams, 1815 Veronica, Lowell, Michigan. Dear City Council, my name is Cassandra Williams and I live at 1815 Veronica Street here in Lowell. As a resident of Lowell, I would like you to vote in favor of commercial marijuana establishments, and here is why. The people of Lowell need to have a safe place to buy marijuana. Like old men who can't grow their own, or old ladies so they don't have to go to a dealer. When I was a little girl, my father used to beat me just because he would feel like it. But when he used marijuana, he didn't lift a finger on me. In 2014, he beat his own mother to death with a frying pan. Do you think he would have done this if he had access to marijuana? No. Think of the people who would have safe access to marijuana if there were commercial marijuana establishments. Think of the people who are in pain every day. Vote in favor of commercial marijuana establishments, please. Cassandra Williams. Dear Lowell City Council, my name is Ryan Shaner and I live in Lowell Township. If I'm allowed to comment on city business, I support allowing businesses to sell cannabis within city limits. Michigan voters made their decision and it's important that the council honor that decision. Virginia's Lowell Township and the city of Lowell all voted yes on Proposal 1. Many people use cannabis for medical purposes, including veterans. I support my family, friends, and all those who need cannabis to help with their medical conditions. Cannabis would also bring in more revenue to the city, and if I remember correctly, the city could use more sources of revenue. I understand that there might be misgivings in allowing cannabis within the city. That is natural if the city chooses to keep cannabis businesses away from the schools, and I would understand that. I simply ask that the city does not opt out. Please honor those who need cannabis and honor the will of the Michigan voters. Thank you, Ryan Shaner. To the council members, I ask that you set aside your own views and thoughts and act as true representatives of the city of Lowell. The people of Lowell supported approval of Proposition 1 on November 6th. It is your duty to not opt out of the opportunity to open recreational facilities. This does not mean the city will give licenses to whoever wants one, and I would hope that there would be a vetting process as well as fees placed that allow the city to make money. It's not as if every storefront on Main Street is currently occupied, and it's not like we would have 100 shops open. This is an opportunity to generate revenue for the community, and I feel like this is one that the city council should not pass up. Thank you for your time, Brett Panazik. Then I received 2 phone calls, one from Donna Smith. She was against the idea. She lives at 194 Valley Vista. And Alfred Thomas was against the idea as well, 412 North Division. And I also have some more emails. We are unable to attend the upcoming public hearing on the dispensary issues that need to be decided by the city council. Both my wife Elizabeth and I encourage council to opt out of the dispensary issue. The product remains unlawful at the federal level, and even though voters may have approved it statewide, council needs to do the right thing and turn down this dispensary portion and opt out. I feel it ironic that one of the people speaking for the dispensary at the last council meeting was from Sydney and not even a city resident. It amazes me that people from outside the area who don't even pay taxes or have to live with these decisions are so free in giving advice and telling the city of Lowell what needs to happen. Please opt out of the dispensary and free up our ever-shrinking police department to take care of our current problems. Sincerely, James and Elizabeth Fowler, 810 Bowes Road. Lowell City Council, it is my understanding that as a resident of the city of Lowell, 725 Bowes Road, apartment K6, I'm strongly opposed to allowing any commercial residential marijuana facilities in the city. Having been a former 18-year police officer for the city of Lowell, I had the unfortunate opportunity to deal with citizens young and old that abused the use of marijuana when it was available to them. I fully believe that there would be substantial increase in cost to the Lowell Police Department and subsequently the city of Lowell if the city council were to allow an establishment of that type within the city limits. I really do not think that the citizens of Lowell want to name Lowell associated with marijuana. Thank you in advance for your consideration in this matter, Al Ekman. My name is Jim Reagan.
So, I'm here, can I read?
Okay, yes, let me finish this one up and then you can read that one. Dear Mike and the council, we are writing to you regarding the city's upcoming decision to opt in or out for retail sales of marijuana in Lowell. On November 6th, the people of Michigan voted to allow recreational use, possession of marijuana. In this proposal, they are also voting to allow their local units of government to decide whether retail sales were appropriate for the community. They are not voting to allow retail sales, as the proposal specifically did not include this. The tally of voters in a given city that voted in favor of the ballot proposal should not be confused with support for retail sales. Personal drug use is one thing, but the sale, marketing, advertising, promotion, and proliferation of marijuana in the Lowell community is very much another. Occupations at King Milling Company require a pre-employment drug test due to the food safety sensitivity nature of our work. We like to employ people from Lowell, but believe that easy access through local retail sales of marijuana will in time reduce the number of residents that will be able to pass a drug test. Thus, we are not in favor of local retail sales. Sincerely, James Doyle, Senior Vice President.
Didn't know if I could get here in time, so I dropped this off. My name is Jim Reagan. I own a business in Lowell since about 1984. I voiced my displeasure for the medical pot to the city council in the past, and I applaud the homework that you did on that subject to gather information, the facts that you gathered on your own, going to Michigan Municipal League meetings, listening to the prosecutors, the law enforcement, and that was on the medical marijuana issue. That was passed by Michigan voters in 2008. Finally, in 2018, it wound its way through the courts so that an individual came to set up shop in Lowell. And And I believe you made the right call in your decision to vote 5-0 to opt out of the medical marijuana. Then we passed the recreational marijuana in November of 2018, and I again encourage you to opt out. Let's not be the guinea pig municipality that has the rules changed for this newest initiative as it winds its way through the court, for whether it's the growing operations, the processing, the testing, the transportation of the marijuana, or the cultivating licenses. As that winds its way through the court, this will be a high maintenance issue for you guys, so you'll be here every other week perhaps to discuss it. The state has another year to develop the final rules for the framework for this recreational marijuana sales. It's supposed to resemble a medical pot use, and it should have rules in place by December 6, 2019, over a year away. So that's when the rules will be finalized. Lowell, the next place to be. Our chamber has worked hard to bring families in Lowell, families with kids to attend our excellent schools. The Christmas parade's coming up. We just had the Christmas through Lowell before Thanksgiving. The current Lowell businesses who are here now are invested in the property, their buildings, and their business, obviously. They came here without pot shops next door. Some of the business owners need to be heard and listened to, and I appreciate your time to have this meeting and have some of us voice our opinion. Yes, the residents of Lowell did vote in favor of marijuana, but a lot of them that maybe voted yes do not have to worry about a pot shop next door to their house, their residential area, or if they live near a school or a church or a daycare center. Will a pot shop, like a liquor store or restaurant, be open until 2 a.m. in the morning? Will that have an impact on a nearby business and stores? Of course it will. Thank you for your time on this matter, and I hope you opt out on this recreational marijuana. Thank you.
Anybody else that wants to speak?
Can I just make a comment from my chair?
No, we've already, no.
What?
No, we've already, sorry. Anybody else? Council comments. Mr. Canfield, you want to start us off?
I'd like to thank everyone that turned out tonight to help us make this difficult decision. It's tough to speak publicly about this for a lot of people. We've got 25 people here, and we had 8 or 9 that had the courage to get up and state their position on this. It is tough. The voters did speak. We had roughly a 59 to 41% in favor of it. I have some questions for Dick on the revenue. There's a 10% excise tax in addition to the 6% sales tax. So that's only charged once at the retail sales?
Yeah, that's correct. If you like, I can summarize it real quickly. You would, if you allowed establishments, be able to charge an annual $5,000 fee, which the city keeps. In addition to that, the regular 6% sales tax would apply for any sale. 73% of that, however, goes to the school aid fund, and the rest goes to revenue sharing, the way the 6% goes now. The 10% that you're talking about, Greg, happens once every time there is a transaction. But 15% of that, only 15% of that goes to cities, townships, and villages based on the number of facilities they have compared with the total number of facilities throughout the state of Michigan. So if you only have 1 or 2 facilities and there are 2,000 of them within the state of Michigan, you can figure out that 15% and then, what is it, the 1/10 of a percent or 2/10 of a percent is not very large, likely. And then before any of that is distributed, the first $40 million that's collected, before any of it's distributed, goes to run clinical clinics for veterans, on veterans issues and veterans suicide specifically.
So in your example of 2,000 sales, or that we have 1 or 2 licenses and there's 2,000 statewide, but we would get a percentage of the 2,000 also, right? All that money is thrown into
You get a percentage of the 15%.
Right,
Right.
from everyone's sales, not just Lowell's.
Yeah, correct.
We asked for comments after our last meeting, and a couple people approached me afterwards privately, and one was an older individual that said that they and their spouse both voted for the recreational marijuana, even though they have never used it and never would, to take it away from the black market. And they did say that their son-in-law drove into less desirable neighborhoods in Grand Rapids to make his purchases, and they were concerned about his safety doing that. And that was their motivation in voting for it, was to eliminate the black market. Another person spoke to me after the meeting and said that he was obviously a user, and said that right now, wherever they buy their marijuana, they have no idea what's been done to it, that people are spraying chemicals on it to keep bugs off it and things, and that he liked the fact that this would give it a clean process where it's almost FDA type testing to make sure how things are grown and processed. So those were a couple of interesting perspectives. I did talk to some people, walked around and asked a few business owners what they felt about it coming to Lowell, and the numbers I'm seeing are similar to what we have tonight, that it's pretty close to 60% support it and 40% are against it. The numbers are fairly consistent no matter how you look at it. You know, our position, you know, we really need to respond to the voters, and it was fairly black and white that a majority do support it. Do we want to see it on Main Street? Definitely not. I certainly care about our community that we have here and what we have going, but it's a tough decision to make.
No, it won't be on Main Street.
No, we're not.
Right.
Mr. Chambers.
I kept track of citizens that are here that got up and spoke. If you lived in town, we listened. Out of town, I still listened, but you got put into a different category. The letters for the fors and the against, and with you folks in here, my math came out to where it was almost dead even, for and against, if you add the two together. I don't think our downtown, I don't think our Main Street really is where it should be. Obviously, there are places that it could be. I just don't know yet.
Mr. Sullivan.
The black market will not go away. I know that for a fact, that even if we can go down and buy it, people will try to get the best deal they can wherever they want to. So, you know, will it cut it down a little bit? I sure hope it goes away. I truly do want to have part of it. I have always been a component of legalizing marijuana. Sitting on the council has made me look at different angles, different things that need to be done for the city, the best interest of the city. The residents definitely did speak in their vote on that part of it. I know this has weighed on me pretty heavy. I've had some conversations with members to my right here and to my left, making sure that I fully understand it. I wish we did have some more time either to opt in or opt out, but that's not an option. So we'll have to make that decision tonight, and I'm ready to vote. Okay.
Mr. Mayor, can I correct something?
Sure.
It cannot go on East Main Street, but there are places on West Main Street where it can go. So yes, it can and will be on Main Street if you opt in.
But we could restrict that through our ordinances of where we could allow that and not allow that. Am I correct?
You can zone it to certain areas of the city where you want it,
Yes.
that don't meet that meet the requirements under the statutory guidelines. So for example, if you wanted to say completely out of downtown, you have that right, and to basically designate it west of Mint. You have that right.
Does the DDA have any power to?
They do not.
Okay.
The other thing you can't do is you zone it out completely. You have to find some place for it. and for all 6 types of
And
staff.
there's no time limit on that, right? I mean, we can take as long as we need to. Let's be honest, the black market is not gonna go away. It will dwindle, but people who buy from somebody they trust, somebody they know, and somebody they've bought from for years are not gonna go somewhere else and pay an extra 10%. Why would you? Also, opting in doesn't mean it's gonna be on every other corner, like a gas station or pizza place around here, right? We've heard a lot about medical marijuana, that has nothing to do with this. That didn't change, nothing's changed, right? People think it's gonna be a financial windfall, I don't personally think it's gonna be a financial windfall. I think every dollar counts, sure, but I don't think we're gonna be Scrooge McDuck in a vault full of money behind a couple of marijuana stores. I just don't know. I'll be honest with you, I voted for it. And I think this gives us a lot more control than the Medical Marijuana Act gave us. I don't want it in downtown, I just don't. I think that's the same reason we voted no on medical marijuana, is because we had no control. We have a lot more control on this. The problem is, you don't know what Blair is gonna do, but it's a state agency and they have 12 months, so they're gonna take 364 days. It's just, I don't know. I just don't know. So, I guess, go ahead.
Just so you're aware, if the council's, I mean, as of right now, you're opted in. Just to remember, you are opted in right now. A motion has to be made to opt out, and that's where you're at this point.
So, we have the two ordinances, right? One would have to be, yeah. So the emergency ordinance to opt out is a supermajority, right?
Right, you
And
put in all 4
Is
votes.
effective immediately?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody want to make a motion to approve that ordinance? Okay. The second ordinance, can you see that? That's the normal ordinance, right? So we post it and then it has to be posted for 10 days.
Comes effective 10 days after it's published.
Yeah. And but that one could be challenged, correct? We don't know. Just more stuff that we don't know. I'm really impressed by how much homework the state did on this. They knew it was going to pass. Every poll since it went on the ballot said it was going to pass, and they just sat on it and did absolutely nothing. And now municipalities like us, who've done our homework, who went to the conventions and read the articles and got on the listserv emails and talked to the residents and talked to other municipalities, now we're being punished for all the work we did because at the state level they did absolutely nothing, right? With that, and you can't say that, right? But I can say it, I can say whatever I want. The state screwed the pooch on this whole deal from the beginning, and they put it on us and gave us absolutely no support and no answers to any of the questions we've had since this thing became it's frustrating to me, but does anybody want to make a motion on the second ordinance? Like, go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, if there is a motion for that ordinance, it would be ordinance number 1807.
1807, that's the second one, right? The emergency one's already off the table.
It's off the table.
Okay. Does anybody want to make a motion on ordinance 1807 to opt out under regular ordinance statutes and then have it posted for 10 days?
I'll make a motion that we accept 1807 to opt out in 10 days.
Support, anyone? Dead. All right. No motions to opt out. Any other council comments? Chief, anything else? Dick? Michael?
No.
Mr. Salzweedl, your turn, item 6.
For that, I'll make a motion to adjourn at 5:15.
I'll support.
Motion and a support. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And we are adjourned.